Just before we get started with the episode today, I have some news! Yes, all you gentle listeners out there, support Canadian independent wrestling. And this one I am particularly happy to announce. It is Smash Wrestling Homecoming. Just, John, have you ever been to a Smash Wrestling event?
I wasn't sure I was part of this part. No, I have not.
Well, it is Smash Wrestling Homecoming. It is happening August the 7th. So get ready because we're going to have a great show. And it's going to be happening at the London Music Hall. Tickets are on sale this Friday. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. So get your tickets wherever available. Visit Smash Wrestling anywhere you can find them, be it Twitter, Instagram, or their website itself. Smash Wrestling. Put it in the Googles if you need to. Put it in the Googles. Jono, we're getting some tickets, baby.
Oh yeah, we definitely have to go to this.
Indeed, but until then, on with the show. It is the greatest sports entertainment podcast spectacular. The Colossal Tussle Podcast. Episode 12. And the boyhood dreams have come true for the Colossal Tussle Tandem. It is I, Special K, the Road Dog, Special K, alongside the Badass.
We're not doing Great Outlaws ever. Just John.
Well, what the hell else do you want to be, John? What else do you want to be?
1,000 tag teams.
All right, fine. You're the ninth wonder of the world. What are you?
Just John.
There you go. I'll come up with something for me next week, okay? All right, you caught me off guard here. How you doing, you son of a bitch?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great. How are you?
I am super pumped, super excited.
All right, so into the episode.
Oh my god! Off to a red hot start. Is this? Wow. Well, I am super pumped, super excited because we are reviewing the Royal Rumble 1999. Deep, I tell you, in Attitude Era nostalgia.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm,
We're all up in them guts.
Are you looking forward to it, John?
Honestly, not really.
Oh, wow.
I don't like rewatching Royal Rumbles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit, but we'll get into it.
Very interesting. Yes, I know. Like, let's talk about. Did you follow up with any of the rest of the Raws?
I watched whatever I could, like a little bits here and there. Because I'm also doing the ECW, like going back.
Yes.
Going back, watching all of 1995. So, but I did catch a couple moments here and there, so I kind of have an idea of what's going on in the Rumble. But yeah.
Very good. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I have watched all of the Raws leading up to the show because I had nothing else going on when I got home. So I thought, why not do some deep diving, do some deep research?
All right.
You know, so I'm feeling good about it. You are not a fan of rewatching Rumbles.
I'm more of like I like him live. Rewatching it just seems like such a fucking drag. Fuck.
You are supposed to turn off your phone. You're supposed to put it on silent mode.
It is
just
off.
John.
It is off.
This is unprofessional to the highest degree, and I will not stand for it.
Listen, I'm unprofessional by nature.
No kidding. Walking off job sites and everything.
I am the Sasha Banks of this podcast. Oh
it is the Royal Rumble 1999. No chance in hell. Right. It is Royal Rumble 1999, and I am looking forward to the numbers on this one. Big man.
You?
Oh yeah. I am just about as looking forward to the numbers as I have ever been in my entire life.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
But there's a certain extra energy I feel for this one. So let's get into it. January the 24th, 1999, in Anaheim, California, in the Arrowhead Pond, 14,816 people have sold out the arena. And I can tell you this, okay? $630,050 at the gate. I got some ticket sales. Right?
Who do you work for?
I did listen. You don't need to know my sources. What you need to know is that I've got the information. Okay? Let me lay another bit down on you, big friend. All right? Let me put something else on you.
Oh boy.
All right? $137,000, 813. Okay? That's $137,813. That's how you say words. And that's the merchandise sales. Okay. I've got merchandise sales.
Well, that's because you apparently work for WWE.
No, I don't. But the buy rate is 1.88, which constitutes 650,000 pay-per-view buys. This is more than double last year's Royal Rumble, 1998, which got 300,000 buys. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole at the desk, as always. And they go over and they are promoting the Royal Rumble, hyping up all the big matches, especially the Royal Rumble itself. Mm-hmm. Austin and McMahon, number 1 and 2, respectively. The $100,000 bounty, and of course, for the first time ever, a woman.
Oh, what?
A woman.
Oh, dear.
Has entered the Royal Rumble. A woman. Inexcusable. In a men's match, of all things. My God! Didn't even know we let them vote. Oh Yes, a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. A lot of big stakes in this match. I found it very interesting that we're using just one storyline in order to progress this Royal Rumble, where typically you would have, multiple storylines, multiple threads going through a Rumble match.
Yeah, but this entire pay-per-view is basically based around just one storyline. So right. It's very interesting to see how they, take all these different things and, work them into just this one storyline that keeps progressing and just getting bigger and bigger each time we review a show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My question to you was do you prefer this idea of having one big storyline to focus on in a Rumble rather than a bunch of multitudes of different little things going on? Do you think that was a cleaner structure for this Rumble?
I grew up when when the bad version of this was out. Yes. When the Attitude Era was kind of slowing down and some of the angles were kind of hit or miss.
Yes.
But looking back at the early years of it, this wasn't that terrible of an idea of just having one storyline and having everything else kind of fall under this one, especially for the Royal Rumble. It made it kind of a cleaner watch through because now you don't have to, know months and months of storylines, right?
Yes, yeah, you are filled in pretty quickly with the intro package along with Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole.
But there's also bad parts to it, but we'll get to it when we get closer to
absolutely
the match.
And speaking of match number one, it is the Big Boss Man taking on Road Dogg.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is a regular match, no hardcore rules, even though the hardcore champion is present in Road Dogg. This is to give the Boss Man a bit of an advantage by doing those good old sportsman-like rules. Good old Scout's honor is the Boss Man.
Because, the corporation is anti-youth. And you know what youth hate?
Yeah.
Some good old-fashioned rules.
Rules and regulations.
Yeah. Some rope breaks, That really grinds their gears.
It certainly does. The Road Dogg comes out and says, "Let's make some noise up in this bitch," which I got a particular kick out of. The sad bit, though, is that he can't do the catchphrase without Billy Gunn there.
Yeah, and that was kind of disappointing because as a Road Dogg fan, I thought he would be a little more creative and be able to, switch it up a little bit.
Honestly. It is non-title as well, we should absolutely mention the Big Boss Man running the ropes to do some little taunting games.
Yep.
Road Dogg responds with, just telling him to suck it.
Suck it.
Just suck it.
Yeah, and the whole first minute and a half of this match was just them hyping up the crowd and taunting each other and all that. We got some Boss Man sucks action.
Yeah, and Boss Man responded by jumping around the ring and being like
a normal human being. Yeah, that's how humans react.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Boss Man trapping the Road Dogg in the corner to kick us off and just landing some heavy duty strikes. Throws him into the opposite corner, hits a splash, goes for a second one but misses. In this case, hangs him up on the ropes, takes Boss Man down, and then we start with the 10-punch spot.
Yep.
All right, 10 and on number 9, of course.
Suck it.
Just suck it. And then one of your classics, one of your favorites, the dong to the steel post.
We've never discussed it. This is not my favorite.
Tell me that it's not, okay? You take them, deliver them to the dong, right in the post.
And as this match goes on, you can kind of see Road Dogg's trying to make it a little bit more hardcore, but of course the rules.
Yes.
Yes.
Even Boss Man was getting overwhelmed and went for the nightstick, and the Road Dogg hopped out of the ring and he goes to the announce table and said, "This ain't hardcore." This ain't hardcore. Yes, it's a stiff old hand by the Boss Man while they're back in the ring here. A big boot by the Road Dogg as well.
Yep.
And then Boss Man locks in the old bear hug. The old bear hug.
The worst submission of all time.
The Road Dogg then bites the Bossman right in the head.
Because he's a dog.
Yeah.
Road Dogg.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on.
How did I never think of this before? Because he's a dog. Holy Toledo.
Yeah, Bossman's big like a bear, so he does the bear hug.
Yeah.
And he's a dog.
And there you go. Just a little nibble.
Yeah, he just bites the forehead.
Look at you.
This is why I'm here.
This is
for
why you're
animal-related
here.
moves.
Well, we have our wildlife correspondent going over there. He bites the Boss Man, but Boss Man lifts up the knee to the gut to maintain the upper hand. Then there's a spine buster, but it's a near fall. The Road Dogg is trying to fire up, like he keeps getting knocked down by Boss Man, and he'll jump up and he'll say, "Come on, hit me, baby!" And then Boss Man does it. Which is not the best way to get some advantage, but whatever. Then Boss Man has him over the ropes. He's choking him over the ropes.
And as he's choking Road Dogg, he's yelling at Jerry Lawler. He's like, "Can he breathe? Can he breathe? Who's the man?
Who the man, King? Who the man?" And Jerry Lawler just like, "You're the man."
So I love that the corporation's starting to like embrace Jerry Lawler as like their mouthpiece on commentary.
It's great. It's such a natural thing.
Yeah.
Road Dogg is able to lock in the sleeper, but only for a moment. Big Boss Man is in total control for a large majority of this match, which is pretty good. Backbreaker by the Boss Man, and then he heads to the top rope. A fatal error as the Road Dogg knocks him right down off the top rope, pulls him right off. And then the Road Dogg is able to follow it up with some shake, some rattle, and some roll. All right, a little bit of jungle boogie, a little bit of wobbly leg.
He starts playing all the hits.
Drops the big elbow. Okay, and then out of nowhere, Boss Man with the big Boss Man slam and manages to pick up the victory.
Yep.
Super shocking.
Yeah, especially since once you see Road Dogg get into his little, what is it, the shake, rattle, and roll segment, you pretty much think he's gonna. You pretty much think he's gonna win, but this move came out of nowhere.
Yes, very good, very interesting. It's nice to see the Boss Man win. I'm super impressed with what I'm seeing from Boss Man, especially during this season of the podcast. And Road Dogg held his own. He made Boss Man look like $1 million at most points. Yeah,
because I think the first when we were doing like the 80s and stuff like that, we saw some of the Boss Man stuff, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't top tier.
It wasn't great. No. This Boss Man is like in his element.
Yeah, very rejuvenated, and I'm digging it. So we have a video recap of Billy Gunn mooning Shamrock's sister. giving her the full moon, just an aggressor. Yeah. Just dropping trowel, pointing his big old buns at Big Sis and saying, you want some of this thong? What did you think about that?
That was very dumb. Very dumb. I didn't expect him to go full moon.
Yeah.
Thought it was gonna be, like a little side moon.
No.
A little cheek action. No.
You never go half on the first time.
He went
always full moon.
Full moon, which then made Shamrock go into a blind rage.
Yes, and rightfully so.
Shamrock was not a happy camper.
No. And as we remember from the Raw that we did review, that Ken Shamrock was avoiding giving Billy Gunn the IC Championship match. So in order to get one, you just moon a man's sister.
Yeah, and and to be fair for Shamrock, it's easy to put the title on the line when you're like, I'm gonna murder this man. I can put this title on the line because he's not gonna be alive after this.
Makes perfect sense to me. So anybody from the current day, take notes.
Yeah.
If you want to get yourself a title opportunity, just moon a man's sister.
Moon someone's sister.
I don't know if Ricochet has a sister, but hide her out for a little bit, man. That's the way. As Ken Shamrock comes out here, Howard Finkel says, as he did for the Boss Man, representing Team Corporate, which sounds incredibly wrong on the ear.
Disgusting.
Yes,
it's the only way I can describe
one of the worst things I've ever heard. Even the corporate team, something like that, but Team Corporate
is
yuck.
Yeah, it's not the greatest name to give a faction.
No. Yeah. So Billy Gunn comes and it's a quick clothesline, a big brawl to kick it off. These guys are going at it tooth and nail, wanting to rip each other apart. Fantastic.
There's not a lot of chain wrestling in this one.
No, certainly not. Very, very good stuff. Quick back and forth action here. A clothesline out of the corner from Billy Gunn manages a near fall, and then a big suplex by Billy to Ken. But the running shoulder block misses, and Billy Gunn hits the ring post.
Yep. And as he's leaning on the ring post, Ken Shamrock decides to start kicking his ass. Literally kicking his ass.
Kicking him right in the buns. But I mean it works with the story. Okay? You gotta punish him somehow.
Yeah.
Right? Gotta give him, because is Ken Shamrock gonna spank ass? I mean, come on. Is he gonna spank him?
But do we have to have ass themed moves? My whole thing, that was just my whole thing. We could have just had a regular match. We didn't have to focus on the ass so much.
It's about attitude. Okay?
I guess.
Attitude. So Shamrock works over Billy Gunn, spinning heel kick, but it's a near fall. Billy Gunn manages to come back with a famouser. But Ken Shamrock is able to duck under Billy Gunn's flying move, and he ends up flying over the top rope. Ken Shamrock follows that up by throwing him into the steel post. And also off the steel steps, so he's really taking advantage here. Ken Shamrock and Billy Gunn then on the apron, and they're kind of standing side by side at this point. Yeah. And Ken seems to go for like a bulldog headlock into the announce table, but it gets reversed, and Billy Gunn is the one that smashes
Billy goes
Ken
face first, right into the fucking announce table.
Yes, a very innovative move. It looked pretty cool. They're doing some pretty decent things in this match.
Yeah, that was the first time I've seen that move.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Shamrock ends up clipping the leg of Billy Gunn as they make it back into the ring, and he starts working the leg, going for that big old ankle lock.
Yep. And as he's working the leg, he looks back at Jerry the King Lawler, and he's like, I smell blood. I smell blood. Which was pretty cool.
Yes, it was also epic because about 30 seconds prior to that, Jerry Lawler was talking about how Ken Shamrock is like a man that smells blood. Yeah. And then he turns around, he's like, I smell blood, King. I'm like, ooh.
They're just completely in sync.
Super in sync. Yes. A quick roll up by Billy Gunn, but it gets a near fall. Ken Shamrock stays in control with a fisherman suplex, but that gets a near fall.
Mhm.
Soon enough, Tim White is knocked down. There's a double down with double clotheslines. Val Venus hits the ring and lands a DDT to Ken Shamrock and a very close near fall.
Yep.
Excellent stuff there. A spinning back elbow by Billy Gunn. A stinger splash. He's starting to fire back. Looks like he's got the match won.
Yep. He goes for a top rope move.
Yes.
I
flying nothing.
Not sure what. I'm not even sure that it was in his move set.
No.
Don't know what he was going for.
No.
But he ended up landing on his ankle, twisting his ankle.
Yep.
And again, Ken Shamrock smells blood.
Yeah.
He went straight for the ankle lock.
Boom.
And got the...
And he's twisted and turning and twisted and turning and twisted and turning.
And he got the submission
That's
win.
right. He could turns no twisting and no more turning. And that was that. Match number 3. Gangrel and X-Pac for the European Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the European title on the line. X-Pac is your champion. Let's just get right into it, okay? Let's just get right into it.
Let's do it.
Because the first and foremost is that this match was very lackluster.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Gangrel should have been getting a title shot anyway at this point in his illustrious career.
Yes, yeah. The thing about this is that I guess maybe we're not watching Heat, but it doesn't seem like there's quite any build to this match. It seems like it's just kind of happening.
Yeah.
Because I've been following the Raws, and unless I missed it, I have not seen proper build for this.
Yeah.
Especially because just a few, weeks ago, it was the Brood and Job Squad.
Yeah.
So... Anyway, it starts off with some good wrestling from the Vampire and the Degenerate.
Yeah, the Degenerate hits the Vampire with a couple hip tosses, a couple suckets.
Yeah, to the Vampire.
Yeah. I don't like your attitude. Yeah, it's a vampire.
It's a vampire.
Just a normal thing to see in the 90s.
Yeah. Big spinning heel kick by X-Pac in the corner here. A splash, but a double underhook belly to belly by Gangrel. So very nice move there. It's a big old flapjack by the Gang to maintain some control as well. But then he misses an elbow from the top rope. Yeah. And then X-Pac is able to fight back. A flipping clothesline, and then hits a spinning heel kick.
Yeah, it's like 3 spinning heel kicks in this match.
He hits 4 in total. 4. And he also does a 10-punch spot, which is the third 10-punch spot from Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and X-Pac. The DX are all over the show, and they're doing the same thing. Yeah. Honestly, and then the match takes another level of shit-uppery. Yeah. So X-Pac hits the top rope and goes for a flying crossbody.
Yeah.
Gangrel tries to roll through, but they kind of bumble and fumble in order to try and maintain position. And then referee Teddy Long, holla holla, goes for the pinfall and counts a 3.
Yeah.
Neither men's shoulders were down. Not a 1. And so the 3 happens, and then they just kind of stand up, and they're like, well, we can't end it this way.
Yeah. Well, it was a good job with on everyone's part, because once the 3 count was done, they all knew Teddy had fucked up. Yeah. The crowd knew Teddy fucked up, and they just kind of ignored it and kept on wrestling,
So they had to come up with a hasty finish of, he's able to, Gangrel is able to hit a power slam, but it's a near fall.
Yeah.
And then Irish whip to the ropes. He tries to go for another flapjack, but X-Pac is able to catch him, hit him with the X Factor, and pin to win.
Yeah.
In this god-awful match.
Definitely one that you should avoid if you are rewatching this show.
Yeah, you can skip past this one. I would
Yeah.
say. Backstage with Kevin Kelly.
The beautiful Kevin Kelly.
The beautiful KK. He's backstage with DX as they hype the Royal Rumble match and how it is every man for himself.
Or woman.
Or woman.
Yes.
Yes, China comes in and says,
Yes.
or woman. Road Dogg says, have you ever seen a fight in the Armstrong family?
I forgot he said that. Yeah.
And Triple H says the DX is as tight as it gets. But when it comes to the $100,000 shot at WrestleMania, it's every man for himself.
Every man for himself.
Or, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, or a woman. I just...
There's some shocking news back in the 90s.
I never thought, in all my days.
Listen, this is the era where women were leaving the kitchen.
Yeah.
They were being like, "Hey, watch me do the grapples."
I mean, I've spent too long on the ranch. That's
You're too old to change your ways.
Yeah. I can't see it. I can't see it in my mind's eye. It's just they act like it's such a big thing.
That's what makes this whole shit hilarious. They make it seem like fucking Bigfoot is coming out and wrestling on match.
And it's just like, and it is a historic deal, but it's like,
listen.
It's just so much. But anyway, here we go. So match number 4, Shane McMahon comes out in order to introduce Luna, who is going after the WWF Women's title with a returning Sable. At least returning on our screen.
Yeah. So Shane comes out with Luna, and he's basically saying how Sable has to forfeit her title because she got a back injury.
Yes.
They then replayed to an episode of Heat, I believe it was, where Luna attacks Sable. So then Sable comes out selling the back injury.
Yeah, selling the back about as well as a rock would sell a fish slapping off of it. Like, it's just kind of pressing her hand gently to her spine.
And not even like a face of pain. Just she's just like regular.
Yeah.
Just walking down.
She's just deadpan. There's nothing going on behind the eyes. She gets in the ring, no soul in her, and just says, "Ring the bell."
Yeah, because Shane's like, "Are you gonna forfeit?" And he hands her the mic, and then she's just like, "Ring the bell."
Ring the bell. And it's like, what? And also, too, we should notify for no reason that this is a strap match.
Yeah. There was no build up to it being a strap match.
No.
There wasn't no blood feud. There wasn't no back and nothing even having to do with us. Nothing.
No.
But for some reason it was a strap match.
This is incredibly confusing because like these ladies have had no connection to each other. And
also, like, usually you would do a strap match if the heel was running away from the face or whatever, but Luna has pretty much went out of her way to find Sable. So she's not running from Sable.
No.
And Sable isn't running from her. So I'm like, what's the point of the strap match?
This is it's so weird, and this match is dog shit.
Shane joins commentary, which was pretty funny. But then the rest of this was, was a match.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, a strap here, a strap there, here a strap, there a strap, everywhere a strap.
Luna would hit her with the strap a couple times, and Sable would hit her with the strap a couple times.
Yeah, a little bit of choking.
Yeah, I think Luna did like a little backbreaker.
Yeah, hit a backbreaker.
Because they that was part of the feud, so she was like,
Gotta hit the backbreaker. Yeah. Gotta do the one spot.
There was a spot where Luna was choking a Sable, like walking around the ring with Sable, and they're both touching the corners. Because I always forget that that's the
That's the
rule
point.
of
Yeah.
of a strap match.
Yes.
I've watched so many, and I always like every time they start touching the corner, I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what the fuck are they doing?
I think it's very clunky, that
It's
stipulation
weird.
idea,
It's
because
weird.
it's like you have to always, like, it seems to slow the match down.
Yeah, and the fact that like if he attacks you as you're touching, you have to restart it.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Unbelievable. So anyway, they've got to the point where both women have touched three corners.
Yeah.
And they're kind of jostling for position here. Sable is able to flip over the back of Luna and tries to go to touch the fourth corner, but Shane McMahon gets up for a distraction.
Mhm.
But in the process, Luna tries to go for the fourth corner herself when the stalker woman, who we know as Tori,
Yeah.
comes out and nails Luna, knocks her right in the jowls, knocks out Luna Vachon, and Sable gets over, slaps the corner, and wins this. Oh God, this awful match.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest match.
No, it wasn't given any time.
Yeah.
It's got one recap of build-up on a heat, which
Yeah.
is the heat before this show. By the way, right? It just not good all around. And then, of course, we have backstage with the corporation. They're talking about every man for themselves as well.
Yeah.
But top priority, collect that $100,000 bounty.
Yeah, you can see Big Boss Man just kind of riling up the troops, telling them about that reward money. You know?
Yes. And then it is on to the I Quit WWF title match. The Rock versus Mankind. And before we start, I feel like we haven't shown enough love to The Rock's promo skills. Because here, I don't know if you've ever watched Beyond the Mat, but it's an extraordinary documentary that came out during this time period, and this promo is plastered right dead center in this, and it's one of the best promos ever.
Well, here we go, Rock. It is showtime. The table is set, and the big question is simply this. Will you be able to do what no one has ever done and make Mankind utter the words, I quit?
First and foremost, Doc, know your role and shut your mouth. I'll tell you what, Mankind, there's something about this whole situation that really befuddles The Rock. Because you see, The Rock isn't just some Rudy Poo candy ass on the corner of Know Your Role Boulevard and Jabroni Drive that you're just gonna have your way with The Rock. Well, because tonight, in front of the thousands of Rock's fans here tonight, all chanting his name, and the millions and millions of The Rock's fans watching live, The Rock guarantees to prove to you that The Rock is the great one, and The Rock is the most electrifying man in sports entertainment today. And after you utter the words, I quit, The Rock will go down as being the best damn WWF champ there ever was. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
So, I mean, yeah, The Rock, his promo, one of the best promos of all time. What did you think of that promo, sir?
Great fucking promo.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh that he talks about making Mankind quit with the corporate elbow. Which is, to me, it's fucking hilarious. Like, it's just like, a couple corporate elbows over here, a couple corporate elbows over here, and that should make him quit.
That should be enough. That should be enough. So The Rock comes out first. He looks so freaking cool in the outfit. Like the track suit. He looks so great, and he's so effortlessly cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's no effort at all. And he just looks cool. And so that's the great juxtaposition to Mankind, who comes out
looking like an actual psychopath.
Looking like Mankind.
Yeah.
And it even like got me to think, like, there literally has never been another champion, either before or since, that has looked like Mankind. Never.
Yeah, no, never.
Never.
Not to my knowledge, at least.
And that's what makes this, like, team like so special. Like that's what makes it, because they're the complete opposites of each other.
Yeah.
And it's just so good. Like
you got the super charismatic,
yeah,
great looking guy that the company wants to put all their money in.
exactly.
And then you have the out of shape,
Yeah.
kind of short,
out of shape, broken down madman who's just so lovable anyway.
Yeah.
And gets over just on his sheer charisma and the ability to put himself through unimaginable pain.
Yep.
For the sake of, in this case, in kayfabe's case, for the WWF Championship.
Yeah.
And again, it's like it puts so much prestige on your top title that this disheveled man holds it, but he holds it because he's killed himself to get
it. Yeah.
And yeah, it's great stuff. So, so it's a hot start for Mankind, who delivers a big knee into the corner of The Rock as he's beating him down there.
Yeah.
And then it's a bulldog by Mankind, and the fists begin to fly as well.
Yeah, and early on in the match, Mankind goes further. He grabs the mic and tries to make The Rock quit, but the mic wasn't turned on.
No.
So, he had to give it back to the ref.
Yeah, do some more damage. But the first time that he does ask and the microphone works, The Rock says, "You can kiss his ass." And so Mankind bashes the mic off the skull of The Rock a couple of times and then asks again, and The Rock says, "He's gonna kick your fat ass."
Great stuff from The Rock.
And then it's a clothesline over the top. These men are on the floor now. Irish whip gets reversed, and the Mankind goes knees first off the steel steps and flips over.
Yeah, that was a
gnarly
thing.
Gnarly looking thing here. The Rock blindsided by Mankind as he gets over and talks some trash at the announce desk. And then a chair off the back, and of course, Cole with the classic botch. We're going to play it here.
Steel stairs into the back. What a chair shot.
I love it. Steel stairs into the back. What a chair shot.
And before the chair shot, Jerry did try to warn him, but he's just like he's just ignoring Jerry.
Yes. He's like, Rock.
I love corporate Jerry.
Yes.
I love him.
Wonderful stuff. They're back into the ring now. It's a double arm DDT. Mr. Sacco is out and locked in on The Rock, who passes out.
Yeah.
But he cannot say I quit.
Can't say I quit, so he has to continue the match.
Indeed. And so now they are into the crowd. They fight into the crowd a little bit, and then The Rock manages to hit a power slam back to ringside over the barricade.
Yeah.
Which was a nice
that was a really good power slam too.
Indeed. And then they're over by the timekeeper's area where The Rock grabs the bell and proceeds to
dumb.
Ding right off the head, and he grabs the microphone and says, "Bells will be ringing," and then hits him again.
This is so fucking dumb. Oh my god.
Up onto the announce table.
Yep. The Rock tries to go for the rock bottom, but unfortunately,
the table
gives out.
The table gives way, and Jerry Lawler, quick with the wit here, says, "I knew Mankind had gained weight."
Listen, Jerry was in his prime back then. He was on his game.
Indeed. The guys, they brawl up the entrance way over to the tech area on the far side of the entrance. The DDT on the concrete to Mankind. Mankind is busted open at this point.
Yeah, the Rock grabs a ladder, and he tries to hit Mankind, but Mankind reverses it.
Yes.
Mankind then tries to go for the elbow drop on top of the ladder, but
Rock rolls out the way.
Rolls out
the way, and then the Rock then gets the ladder, sets it up, climbing up into the rafters area, and
there was a little like stage behind
and they're fighting there in amongst the crowd, in amongst the people. And The Rock manages to get control, manages to knock Mankind off hits with a horrible thud onto the electric circuit board. The lights grow out.
Yeah.
Sparks fly. It's an incredible looking spot.
Yeah. And at this point, Shane and security and the medics are out.
People are coming down there saying,
and they're like, hey, come on, just
call
stop.
it off, call it off. And then The Rock says, ah! That son of a bitch will scream, I quit, and I'll be damned if you don't.
And boy, did he take that serious.
Absolutely.
Shit.
So he takes him back to the ring, and then the handcuffs, they come out. He handcuffs Mankind, and the Mankind tries to fight back. He hits a low blow, hits another low blow. He's doing his best to fight. But then The Rock, he gets a chair.
And as soon as you saw the chair come out, I think every wrestling fan knows where we're going with this one.
So the first was the corporate elbow on the chair onto the face of Mankind.
Yeah.
And now the chair shots.
Yeah.
And I'm not a squeamish man. I am not. I don't get squeamish very easily. I can normally withstand a lot of blood and guts.
Yeah.
And I wasn't squeamish at this as much as I was feeling just this ugly affair.
Yeah.
As it went from this wrestling match to this murder.
Yeah, same thing for me. Like when you watch it, it's like it's not something that's gonna make you squeamish.
Yeah.
But there's like this, like all of a sudden, like throughout the whole event, like this aura kind of takes over. Like you can feel the crowd's energy.
Yes.
You can feel commentary's energy, and you can be. It just kind of feels like this isn't supposed to.
Yeah, right. Like things are starting to go off the rails a little bit because, okay, so the first chair shot and the second seem fine enough. He goes to ask, "Do you quit?" Mankind says, "You'll have to kill me."
Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
One to the back of the head.
Yes. Mankind, he still won't quit. Jerry Lawler, at this point, after the second one, is saying, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like, after the second one.
Listen, even the referee was looking at The Rock like, all
what
right.
the hell's going on?
He's like,
here,
all right. All right.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Michael Cole is screaming. The emotion coming out of this man is unreal.
Yeah.
These, like, Mankind has fallen to the outside. Michael Cole is saying, the title isn't worth this much.
Yeah.
Don't do this. Stop this. And keep in mind, and beyond the mat, his family is there in the crowd. And they are crying, screaming, bawling their eyes out. So they don't know what's going on either.
Yeah.
And it does look like The Rock is taking some liberties because he's like really lining up.
1000%.
Yeah. Like he's lining up the shots.
Yeah, because there was one chair shot even that Mick Foley was getting up, but he hadn't turned fully around. And you can just see The Rock waiting for him to turn around. Yeah. And then just fucking laying it in. Like that was.
And then finally, 9, 10, the 10th one right to the back of the head.
Yeah.
You can tell that Mankind does not know where he is. Like Mick Foley does not have a blues fucking clue where he is. Like, no, Steve couldn't figure this out.
Listen, and at this point, like even the crowd, just this is the prime attitude era. Yes. These crowds were loud.
Yeah, and they're like rabid.
Yeah,
they are blood and guts. They are
they love
ECW
hardcore
Brit.
shit. Yeah. Like these are ECW babies.
Yes,
that are coming over here. Like they're hyped right now.
Yes, a lot of violent influence.
Yeah, a lot of energy into these bodies.
Yeah.
But at this moment, even they were like, whoa.
There's a hush. There's like a murmur.
Yeah.
There's like a...
It was like everyone there knew, hey, this shouldn't be going
Yes.
on right now.
And so, yeah, finally, after 10 unprotected chair shots,
Mhm.
The Rock gets down, microphone in hand, says, "You will say I quit," and Mankind, seemingly, says, "I quit" in one of the worst dubbed jobs that I've ever heard in my life.
Listen, no, they have really good mics in the WWE. Like, he said that, and it sounded like it was coming out of the speakers, like
Yeah.
very clear. Like it
Yeah.
was really, really good stuff.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's so ugly, so ugly. But like, there's something about it that I love. Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck?
Like,
Listen,
not in the sense of, oh, Mankind got hurt.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I hate seeing that. But the aspect of The Rock walking in as this arrogant but albeit underdog, because Mankind would never say I quit.
Yeah, yeah.
And the world knows this.
Yeah.
And coming out of this match looking like a fucking monster. Looking like a monster.
Yeah.
And Mankind just won't quit. Like, he just won't do it.
To the point where they had to dub his voice.
Yes.
Because
And there's something about it as The Rock grabs the mic, like, he rushes back to the ring, pushing the ref, "Get my fucking belt, get the fucking belt,"
yeah.
grabs the belt, poses with it, gets up to the ramp, moves all of the medics, stands over Mankind.
And it takes a special type, because even the medics, everyone that's around McFoley, they're like, "Hey,
This is, yeah.
we stopped."
They so badly.
They're like, "Hey,
like,
we are
the
done.
Yeah.
Just go." And he's like, "No.
No.
I'm finishing my
Yes.
my celebration."
Yeah, and he stands there, holds the belt over the body.
Yeah.
And it's just a spotlight on him.
While all the medics are
Yes.
panicking and being
And
like, "Get the fuck off
Yes.
of him."
And there's something that just, I was sucked in.
Yeah.
I was sucked in because
No, I had to admit, because I've never watched this match, because I've saw the Beyond the Mat stuff.
yes.
I've seen all the documentaries. So I was just like, this is something I never want to watch. Like, this sounds brutal. But then when I watched the match, I'm like, this is a pretty fucking good match.
Yeah, it's a great match.
Until that point, this
Yeah.
is a really good match.
Yes.
Even when he did get the cuffs on, he even got some offense in.
Yes.
So I was like, this is a good match.
Yeah.
It's just, the chair shots kind of,
Yeah.
but I was enjoying that match very, very much.
Exactly. It takes this ugly turn when the chair comes out and the hits start coming and keep coming. But even that, I mean, yes, there should have been a whole lot less chair shots. And I think the stories have come out in later years that they had agreed upon a certain set. But I believe both men were in this adrenaline state, because if Mankind's standing up, Rock's got to do something.
Yeah.
And he's got this chair. So, all right. And you could see during like the third, fourth, and fifth, when he's standing there and he's coming at him, and Mankind, you can see him and hear him screaming, like, "Come on, give it to me." And The Rock, like, he looks almost hesitant.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Okay, we're going. We're going."
He started swinging.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's why the family was kind of like taken back by it, because
yeah.
they were probably expecting
Yeah,
a
it was
certain
supposed
amount.
to be like probably like maybe 3, 4.
Yeah.
It's supposed to end at the ramp, but probably like maybe 4,
Yeah.
5 at the most. But to double that and to go 10 is ugly and in excess.
Yeah.
But the chair shot story on paper itself is incredible.
Yeah, because even after the first couple chair shots, even Jerry the King Lawler, he was being like, "No, hit him more." Like, he's really into character. It's after they go past a certain point that like everyone's mood is like,
Yeah.
oh,
Like, Jesus.
oh, wait,
Yeah.
that's not what we agreed upon. That's
Yeah.
not what happens.
All right. So it's like the match is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Even in its success. I loved it. Despite the heinous action.
Listen, again, I've only watched the documentary, so I've never wanted to watch this match. But listen, going back and watching this thing, this was a hell of a match.
Yeah.
Hell of a match. And, you know, because Mick Foley's fine now.
Yes. Yeah. He lived to tell the tale.
Because he's fine now. Even with the chair shots, it made for a better story. Because, like, hey, you can't put this guy down. He's not going to quit.
Yeah.
It took 10 plus chair shots to take him out.
Pure shenanigans.
Yeah, so
to knock him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in that alone, it's like it took 10 to knock him out.
Yeah.
Like along with all the shit that you did to him.
Yeah, exactly. But this was a hell of a match.
Yeah, and Rock, you know, since we've started this, he started out as a face.
Mm-hmm.
Turned heel, but nobody would accept it for about 2-3 pay-per-views. Monday Night Raw, he was starting to get it.
Yeah.
Here, I think there's no doubt in anybody's mind. Like, the heel turn has been solidified.
Yeah.
And I think as a result of this match, like, you need this match. Because how else is anybody going to boo The Rock?
Yeah. Because at that time, Mankind was like the ultimate babyface for the company.
Yeah.
So if there's someone that you gotta hurt to become a proper heel,
this is the guy to do it.
The lovable guy that everyone, you know, can't get enough of.
And the guy that, I mean, he probably shouldn't have, but the guy that would tell you, oh yeah, I can take it.
Yeah.
So give it to me because I can take it.
Yeah.
And
I don't think no other babyface on that roster is going to take
not a snowball's chance in hell. In hell were they going to make that happen.
Yeah.
But yes, it's that was great. And Mankind still wouldn't go out on a stretcher as well.
Mm-hmm.
He still walked out on his own 2 feet. Like I can't say enough about this match. This was, for me, oddly enough, a 5-star match.
Yeah, no, this
and that's ridiculous to say given the circumstances. But as I said, I'm a story guy. I'm a guy that loves a good story way more than I love a good wrestling match.
Yeah,
and this was a good helping of wrestling match, but a fucking hearty helping of story.
No, and again, like, not watching this match like ever, and then watching it now and just realizing how amazing it is.
Yeah.
It kind of like got me feeling a way that I was like, damn, I can't believe for all these years I didn't watch this match because of just like the ending part.
Yeah.
Right?
And for me, it was like, I want Mick Foley to get him. Like, you get him. You get him. Like, you survive. You live to fight another day, and you get this motherfucker. Brilliant. The Royal Rumble match. It is now time for the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we kick it off with an epic promo package that hypes up the entire story of Austin McMahon screwing Austin multiple times, keeping him out of the title contention over and over again. The hirings, the firings, the screw jobs, the costing of the matches, getting put in number 1. And now Mr. McMahon getting the shenanigans, the rug pulled out from under him as number 2.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. It's a fantastic package. One of the best, cohesive storylines that I've ever seen in a video package.
Listen, one thing about the 90s is that they had a really good video package.
Yes, yeah.
Like the music, the edit, everything was fucking amazing.
Yes. There's even a recap of Heat, which Stone Cold Steve Austin makes his way into the arena. They're really trying to
push Heat.
Oh, yes.
God damn.
Yes.
The whole show, they've been talking about it.
Yeah. The Eliminator. He comes in on the gigantic limo monster truck into the building, confronts McMahon. McMahon slaps him and then runs off. Even just that little bit extra, that little sprinkle of extra heat. Loving it. Yes, so the Royal Rumble match itself, we're going to try a little bit of something different because the Royal Rumble that we reviewed last time, 1990,
Oh my god.
a fantastic match, but needless to say, a little overwhelming.
A lot going on.
Yes, and we feel as good as we felt we did with it, that we didn't do enough justice to it. So what I had proposed was that we dig into it a little bit differently, that we would discuss the overall highlights of the Royal Rumble match, along with our thoughts of the Rumble match as an overall grade.
Mhm.
In regards to separate from the show, and then have our regular show grades later, and then also discuss a little bit of like overall thoughts on the Rumble in comparison to other Rumble matches that we have seen. Is it good, bad? Where does it rank in our life? Where does it rank in our subconscious mind? Would we rewatch? Stuff like that.
Okay.
Along with our favorite highlights and things of that nature. So, yeah, I mean, let's get into it. And in the interest of sharing the load. No, I'm kidding. We're not doing that. I'm not going to do that for the Rumble.
Oh my god, damn.
Get that anxiety pumping. But no, let's talk about the entrance, and let's go a little bit by bit, okay? Because this match is pretty well blocked out. I will say that that's one of my personal highlights for the match itself, was that it was quite well structured.
Okay.
Of course, it starts off with Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. I'm sure we both have highlights for that.
Yeah.
Such as, and I think you will agree, as Vince McMahon comes out, the baby oil, the no shirt, just the beef, looks like a big old slab of meat. And Austin, of course, coming out, and both men having a little bit of a thing here where Austin is taking total control and liberty with McMahon.
That I was surprised about. I thought they would leave that for later on, but then also, like, how would they, it's 1 and 2. Like, there's no one else to...
Exactly.
But I was pleasantly surprised at that, Stone Cold stomping a mud hole.
Yes, mud hole in his ass, walking it dry. Yep. He continues the beat down until number 3 with Golga.
Yeah, he hits a scoop slam on Vince.
A big old scoop slam.
He drops a knee to the old family jewel, so he's really getting some offense in. Yeah,
he's doing a number on McMahon, and McMahon is putting in no offense whatsoever, which I love. He comes out looking like this big final boss, and he's just getting killed.
And as Golga's coming out, Stone Cold pretends to throw McMahon out the ring, and he's like, no. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Clotheslines him down, attacks him some more, but Golga gets into the ring and immediately breaks it up. He turns heel, attacking Steve Austin. He wants the bounty, but he is quickly dispatched. And then Austin and McMahon running up the aisles back into the women's restroom, where he is ambushed by Team Corporate.
And when I saw this, I was like, I was like, damn, this is a cheap way to make them last to the end. Yes. But at the same time, I was like, it's probably the only way you could have made them last to the end.
Yes, I mean, Austin he's probably in great cardio shape, but even still, trying to last an hour is a bit excessive for him. Yeah. McMahon, of course, can't last an hour.
Austin, I wasn't worried too much about. Yeah. It was mostly how are they going to keep McMahon in there and keep him active enough that it's like, actually entertaining to watch. So when this happened, I was like, all right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I can't imagine too many other people being allowed to assault McMahon.
Exactly, right? One thing I did find funny is that as they're brawling with, as the corporation's brawling in the female washroom, Draws comes out, and he's just in the ring alone.
What's happening here?
Okay.
Interesting. So then, aforementioned, Draws comes out. Then we have Edge and we have Gilbert.
Yeah.
And Gilbert gets this big, elaborate entrance
And he
with
gets
the
a huge
sparklers.
pop, too.
Yep, sparklers. The fire extinguisher spot. There's piped-in chants of Gilbert. Yes. And he gets this big, elaborate entrance. He gets there. He's posing on the ropes, and then Edge just just bops him right out. Excellent stuff. Then we get Steve Blackman, Dan Severn, Tiger Ali Singh, the Blue Meanie, and Mabel.
Yeah, and basically as they're coming out, we keep cutting back and forth to backstage where they're showing Austin getting put on a stretcher, and then them fighting through the crowd to put him in the ambulance and all that stuff.
Yes. So as Mabel gets out there, who actually takes the place of Mosh, he attacks Mosh in the back and steals the spot, and he goes on a bit of a tear in which he eliminates Blackman, Dan Severn, Tiger Ali Singh, and the Blue Meanie. Yeah. Before finally the lights cut out. And here comes the Acolytes. I wanted to ask you, actually, did you follow up on Dennis Knight and what happened? How he became Midian, who joins in on the brawl?
I didn't.
You didn't? Well, let me tell you what they did to Dennis Knight after they took him out of the sex dungeon.
Oh, my God.
They brought him out on Raw, where The Undertaker basically delivered a blood sacrifice. And in order to turn Dennis Knight into Midian, they had him tied up on a cross at the top of the ramp. Okay. The Undertaker came out, slit his wrist, and had Dennis Knight drink the blood on national television.
Wait, Undertaker slit his own wrist?
Slit his own wrist.
And made
Dennis Knight drink that blood.
Why?
In order to convert him to the ministry.
Why?
Because he needed to accept the Lord of the Darkness as his savior.
What the fuck?
And next week he became Midian.
Oh dear God.
So that's your follow-up to that January 4th.
Well, thank
story.
God I did not. Because that sounds disgusting.
Yes, a little bit of blood sacrifice. Yes, to the Ministry of Darkness. And so Mabel is beaten all the way up to the ramp as the Undertaker makes his way out. He says, do you accept the Lord of the Darkness as your savior? And do you allow the purity of evil to guide you? Mabel looks to be in a trance, so Bradshaw says, oh, fuck it, and hits him in the back of the head.
That sounds like something he would do. That sounds like that's on brand.
So they go ahead, they kidnap Mabel, throw him into a hearse in the back later on. But we'll get to that in a moment, because here comes the Road Dogg, Gangrel, Kurgan, Al Snow, one of your faves, Goldust, the Godfather, and Kane, and his hose, of course. Can't forget the hose. And then Kane. And Kane has himself one hell of a tear.
Yeah, he starts fucking cleaning house. Yes. But then the people who work at the insane asylum come to get him.
Yes, and this is after he eliminates Road Dogg, Kurgan, Godfather, Goldust to a huge pop. Yeah, Kane is unbelievably popular.
But I was kind of disappointed because I liked Road Dogg's little run in this Rumble.
Yes, he was doing a good job.
Yeah, but the guys come out and they're trying to take him back to the asylum. So he steps over the top rope, eliminates himself, and starts chasing them. Yeah. Or do they start chasing him? How does it?
It's a bit of a twofer. He's chasing one half while the other half is chasing him.
So he eliminates himself.
Yes, and as Kane takes off, Vince McMahon returns to the Rumble as Ken Shamrock enters. Yeah. Vince McMahon joins in on commentary, says that Austin is gone and is not coming back.
Yeah, so he joins commentary, and Ken Shamrock's just pacing in the ring, waiting for the next batch of competitors.
Yes, and the one that comes out first, Billy Gunn, badass Billy Gunn, on one foot, wearing one boot.
Yes,
incredible resilience.
Take notes, Sable.
Yes, that's how you sell. He doesn't even run properly. He's kind of like doing a skip jog to get there. Excellent stuff. Yes, so Billy Gunn, Test, they come out. And during this time, as I said, Mabel is being loaded into the back of the hearse, and here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's commandeered the ambulance.
And again, Vince with his
Excellent facial expressions.
Yes,
excellent facial expressions here. So Austin returns to the Rumble, tries to get to McMahon as the boss man comes out, but McMahon is able to evade. Austin is back in the Rumble as boss man comes out. Then we have Triple H, Val Venus, X-Pac, Mark Henry.
Hey.
What?
Sexual.
Oh my God!
Who is this Mark Henry you speak of? What is going on?
Will you let me just do the show?
Sexual chocolate.
Just let me do the show.
Get it right.
You take up your complaints on your own time. Sexual chocolate.
There we go.
Jeff Jarrett at number 27. D'Lo Brown at number 28. Number 29 is Owen Hart. And number 30, making history, China enters the Royal Rumble.
But she's a woman.
She's a woman.
Oh, Lord.
I know. But she has an absolutely tremendous segment here because she gets in. Sexual chocolate, Mark Henry, is still in the ring. He's saying, come on down, baby. We have this love of passion and this night of passion. And China kicks his ass.
Because I kind of heard commentary say that he was like bragging about sleeping with her, so she didn't like that. And she beat the shit out of him. She
beat his ass, threw him over the top rope with ease, and then Stone Cold right behind her delivers a clothesline, sends her outside. I've been poking fun for the entire night with a woman, but China making history as number 30, making history in the Rumble match, is fantastic. And in my personal opinion, should have been the only one to ever do it. I think Beth Phoenix, not as good. Karma, Awesome Kong, not as good. Nia Jax was fun, but I believe the honor should have been to China.
Because I feel like with China, she was so important in that era that I think they put it out of respect.
Yes.
I feel with Beth, Awesome Kong, and Nia Jax, they were put in there
to pop.
And also as sort of
hey, we like women.
It's kind of like a dig, like, hey, look at these big women who are not your normal sized women.
Exactly.
So we're gonna but with China, it was like, she was dominating. She was like one of the biggest female stars at the time. So she earned that spot.
Yeah. So special, and I think she should have stayed as the only person to do it.
The final four.
Yes.
Well, technically,
I'm so sorry five. Because Jerry Lawler has the line of the night when
go for it.
China eliminates Mark Henry. Jerry Lawler, I think, genuinely didn't know that he was on.
Yeah.
Because he's like, sweet Jesus! I got one of the biggest laughs of the night because sweet Jesus.
Yeah, because out of everyone in the WWE, for some reason he was the most surprised that they were allowing this to happen.
Unbelievable! Oh my God!
He was probably genuinely surprised that she did that.
Yes. So the final four, yes, sir.
Technically, final five because Vince is there, but the final four in the ring, are Boss Man, D'Lo for some fucking reason.
D'Lo Brown is great.
What?
I don't understand why you are so harped on D'Lo Brown.
Because he doesn't have the look. He's just D'Lo Brown.
Oh my God!
He's just like, look at all the stars at that time, and then it's just D'Lo. Like, I don't know. We've watched so many of these shows, and he keeps getting such big fucking moments.
Well, I will say this. I will say that I liked, as a quick aside, the integration of these new stars to these bigger stars in the last final 10, because you had Test.
Mhm.
You had Billy Gunn for the bit, but mainly you had Test, you had Val Venus, you had X-Pac, Mark Henry, and D'Lo Brown. Now that's 5 stars that are relatively, like, they should have no business being integrated with the likes of, Triple H, Owen to a certain extent, Steve Austin, definitely, Vince McMahon, and also arguably Big Boss Man, because Big Boss Man is upper card
he's
and
been
main
around,
event right now. So yeah, I like that. I like they're feeding him like these people that are kind of like, okay, let's test the waters. Let's see if they can hang with these bigger stars.
And speaking of Val Venus, I did love that in the crowd there was like 2 guys that had the towel.
Yeah.
Every time the camera was on, and they'll pretend to like that was funny as fuck to me.
The final 4:
yes,
Owen Hart, Boss Man, D'Lo, as you said, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yes,
with Vince outside.
Yes, Owen Hart is eliminated by Austin.
Mm-hmm.
D'Lo Brown and Boss Man have a little bit of a double team, which was pretty cool. So Boss Man does the slide under and chops Austin in the throat. And D'Lo is right there at the top rope with the frog splash. Great combo. Boss Man quickly eliminates D'Lo Brown, though, and then Austin, almost a second later, stunner. Goodbye, Boss Man. We're back down to the 2 that started it.
Yep, the official final 2.
Yes, Austin beating down McMahon, a steel chair off the head. McMahon goes for a quick low blow that stuns Austin for a moment, but
he recovers.
Covers quickly, delivers the stunner, and gets up and right to camera says, "This motherfucker's finished!"
After the stunner, he then goes to the second rope. He does the elbow drop.
Yep.
He goes for a second one.
Yes.
But then The Rock comes out and distracts Austin.
Yes, The Rock comes out, distracts Austin, which gives Mr. McMahon just enough time to unbelievably eliminate Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Mr. McMahon has won the Royal Rumble match and presumably is heading to WrestleMania.
Yeah. And after the match, Austin, The Rock, they just brawl all the way backstage. Then Shane and the Stooges, they come out and they're celebrating the win by drinking beers.
Yeah, they get some beers.
Austin, Vince even catches one midair. I was like, I didn't know he could do that.
Yeah, I know. This uncoordinated bastard manages to grab one. It was super, super surprising, that ending, an excellent swerve.
Yeah.
I think. So that was that, and the questions that I had before you.
Let's do it.
Let's start first with: was this one of the best Rumbles that you have watched?
Oh, probably top 5. Probably top 5. Okay. It's definitely one of the easier ones to watch.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. So then my follow-up question has already been answered. Was it one of the worst?
No. Well, if you take away the main storyline, then yes. But altogether, then it's not that. It's not the worst.
All right. So then I would ask you, so you say a top 5 for Royal Rumble to watch, but would you consider it a top 5 or a top 10 in overall quality of the Royal Rumbles?
No. Because at least for me, I'm not sure how you.
Well, we'll get.
We'll get to yours. But for me, I hated most of this. Yeah, if it weren't for the fact that there was a storyline, because the fact that Stone Cold and Vince were 1 and 2, I kind of knew already that they were going to be the last 2.
Yes.
The Rock is the champion. He's not winning. Mankind is concussed. He's not winning. Then everyone else, that we ran down, none of them are, I'm a face The Rock type. Yes. So it had to be either Stone Cold or Vince. So it kind of takes away sort of the unpredictability of the Rumble. So just from like match quality, this wasn't the greatest Rumble. But to watch it, it's definitely top 10 just because it's a fun watch with the corporation stuff.
Yeah.
When you have when you know the story behind it, it's super fun to watch. Just, if we take everything out and just watch it from start to finish, it's not the best.
Okay.
Golga comes out at number 3.
He does, yes.
Followed by draws.
A lot of filler, yes. So then your overall Rumble match grade out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
3.5.
A 3.5.
3.5. Again, very, very enjoyable. Again, just not the greatest in match quality, but with the storyline, it's very, very fun to watch.
Okay. Yes, okay. Right. I mean, I have to agree with you.
Yeah, so give us your hot takes. Let us know, how did you feel about those?
Do I think it was one of the best? No. Do I think it was one of the worst? That's a good question, because on the one hand, as you pretty much said, I'm going to echo that almost verbatim, that as a wrestling match, as a Royal Rumble match itself, it was pretty damn bad. Filled with a lot of filler, a lot of emptiness, a lot of people that have no business winning the Rumble. They're just there as bodies. But as a story, which again is, as I say, one of my things, between Austin and McMahon, it is entertaining.
Yeah.
But there are pockets of it where that storyline isn't coming into play, where Austin is taken off to a medical facility and Vince McMahon is not there and then joins commentary before Austin gets back. So there's like this little moment of, it's like, okay, there's just these guys going on, and Kane having his little moment, but he's literally in there for a minute 20 and he's gone. So yeah, I would say
it's a tough.
It is tough. It falls somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
For me, it's not good, but it's not bad. It's okay. Yeah. Like, it's fine Rumble. And then would I rank it in the top 10? No, not at all. Out of the 2 that we've personally done already, the Royal Rumble 1990 is a far superior Rumble, in my opinion, with a lot more threads and things spinning, and I think I like that in my Rumbles. Yeah. I like the threads and the different ideas and building up to WrestleMania, because coming out of this, other than the fact that you're like, oh, I wonder how Austin's going to get there now. Because you know that's what's going to happen. Like, no matter what, Austin's got to get there.
It's not going to be Vince versus The Rock.
Exactly. And it's like, so it's like, oh, God, okay. Well, I mean, it's a good swerve.
Yeah.
But it's a swerve only in the moment. And then as soon as you pull back, you're like, yeah, but come on now. So I wouldn't rank it at the top 10. And then, as I was going to say, you don't have anything else hyped up for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like, there are no other matches that you can be like, oh, maybe this will happen, or maybe that will happen. Like, no, there's nothing.
It's
just Austin. Yeah. So that does, in fact, bring it down for me. And my overall, you gave it a 3.5. I'm giving it a 3.
Fair.
Yeah, as I say, pretty empty. There's pockets of it that are entertaining, of course. When Austin and Vince are in there, it's super entertaining, super fun. It's not something that I would go out of my way to rewatch.
Yeah.
If it was on there, if it was on the network one day, like they're just playing the Rumble, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Again, like I was telling you earlier, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Royal Rumbles, like, especially like rewatching Royal Rumbles.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it fucking drags.
Yeah.
But this one I rewatched and it was pretty entertaining. I was like, you know what? This wasn't like, it's not a classic, but it's also not, the worst thing. It's it's like you said, it's kind of just like in the middle.
Yeah.
It's in the middle.
I would say I'm not disappointed in the ending, which has happened with a lot of Rumbles.
A lot. Yeah. More than half of the
exactly. Where you're disappointed in the ending, you're disappointed in the finish. Yeah. I'm intrigued. I don't know if back then, if I watched it live, would I be like, well, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
that the owner of the company let him win
What-
his own Rumble.
Well, I think that was that's what they were going for. It's
Right.
like, corporation wins, ha ha ha, fuck
Yeah,
you guys.
But I would hope that it wouldn't give me like the wrong kind of heat where it's where I'm like angry at WWF rather than the story.
Because again, we're watching this from like
20 years of perspective later. But okay, so now match of the night, the standout star, and the overall show grade. I'm going to start with you first, Just John. What did you give your match of the night?
Match of the night, Rock, Mankind.
How could it not?
Yeah, I was gonna give it to Billy Gunn and Ken.
Yes,
but this Rock and Mankind
you
match,
can't beat it.
It was fucking even after the chair shots and all that. But it was a great match.
Better than the Rumble match itself, and one of the few times that it's better than the match.
Yeah. Standout star, I gave it to them a couple episodes back. They're getting it again. The corporation. I feel like
as a unit,
everyone from Boss Man, Shamrock, fucking everyone just played a great role. They actually feel like absolute dicks.
They do.
They do. It's great stuff. Yeah.
Okay, and your overall show grade, sir?
3.5.
5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like the two opening matches were okay, but then the Sable match.
Oh God. Gangrel and Pac.
Yeah, the Gangrel and Pac match, and then the fact that the Royal Rumble for like 40 minutes didn't have its biggest stars.
Yes.
So. Like I was gonna give it a 3, but the fact that I enjoyed the show overall so much, I'm gonna bump it up to a 3.5.
Sounds good, my man.
Definitely something that I would rewatch again.
Match of the night, echoing your sentiment entirely. Rock versus Mankind. There's no way that you can beat it. There's no way that you could sleep right knowing that you gave it to something else. The standout star, I have to give it to Mankind. I would have. I am giving a special mention to Billy Gunn.
Yes.
Because I thought that his work was exceptional tonight.
Yes. The selling, everything.
Yeah, the selling, the match itself, getting a good match out of Ken Shamrock as well, because we've been down on some Ken Shamrock matches.
We have. That MMA style just doesn't that MMA style that Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman used. Back then, if it were now, gangbusters.
Yeah.
Back then, with the style that was happening, not the greatest. So the fact that he was able to get a good match, pretty good.
So very much enjoyed that. So he gets a special mention, but Mankind himself, the story element of him, the perseverance, this idea of this man that just will never say die, is just, it sucked me in. The entire match did. I was absolutely overwhelmed by Mick Foley's performance and his plight, and that was huge for me. And the show grade itself, I'm giving it 4 stars.
Dang.
I know, I'm ranking it quite high.
Yeah.
The lackluster Rumble aside, looking at the elements that I really enjoyed, the opening match, pleasantly surprised by the Boss Man win, and it was a decent match. IC match was very good in my opinion. One of those that I would go out of my way to watch again.
Definitely.
The Rock and Mankind match, as I said, I personally feel 5 stars. It's now legitimately one of my favorite matches ever.
Yeah.
The story elements really did something for me, and the fact that this flew by.
Oh yeah, 100%.
This was a show that
100%.
I didn't feel bored at any point. I didn't feel like I was struggling to get through it.
Because even the 2 low spots for me that were X-Pac, Gangrel, and Sable Luna, they weren't terrible.
Yeah. And they weren't long in the tooth.
Exactly.
They weren't long.
Like the Luna and Sable match, it wasn't the greatest strap match, but it was also 3 minutes.
Yeah, you can't expect much.
And Gangrel and X-Pac, up to that point where the botch happens, it was a pretty decent match.
Yes.
And the botch was more funny than it was like, oh, the fucking match is destroyed type of thing.
Indeed,
right? Yeah.
indeed, and that's how I felt as well.
Mhm.
And even the Rumble match, yes, an hour just about. Even still, like it still flew by.
Yeah.
Like we got to like number 17. Like I heard number 17, The Godfather. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. And I think like they did a good job in the Rumble with the way they structured it.
Yes,
like,
yes, as we mentioned before.
Yeah,
Mhm.
their top stars weren't going to be there for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But we got Edge going on a little run.
Mhm.
We got Road Dogg going on a little run.
Yeah.
Mabel,
Mabel's
but Mabel,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, a little minute here, a minute
Mhm.
over there, but overall, you know, even Boss Man coming in and doing his
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
they, you know, they made sure that there was still something going on.
Yes, yeah,
It
that was good.
Yeah.
There was still spots happening.
Yeah, you knew none of these men were gonna win,
No.
but it was it gave you something to watch while you waited for
Mhm.
the big whatever shenanigan thing was gonna happen at the
Yes.
end.
Yeah, so overall, I was thoroughly entertained, and yeah, 4
Nice.
stars is what I'm giving it.
Nice.
You know, come at me.
Listen, I don't think anyone will be mad with that score. That's a decent score.
I would hope not.
Mm.
I would hope not. So we are moving on. We have just a couple of episodes left.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we reach the raging climax of WrestleMania 15.
We're on the road to WrestleMania.
We are officially on the road to WrestleMania, and we do have St. Valentine's Day Massacre being the next pay-per-view.
Mhm.
However,
Ooh.
we have a stop to make
Wait.
just before we get there. And I'm talking about Halftime Heat.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
yes. We are reviewing Halftime Heat, in which we have an empty arena match. Mankind versus The Rock. WWF Championship title rematch. Yes, it
I
took...
don't think I've ever heard of that match.
Oh, yes,
An
yeah. An
okay.
empty arena match. This took place during the Super Bowl halftime show. One of the first times ever that this was taking place.
Mhm.
Did unbelievable numbers, a very significant show, and very entertaining, especially for the match itself. I've never seen the match in full. I have never seen the show in full. I don't know if that's the only match or if there are other things on that show. It's on the WWE Network, and we're going to be reviewing it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So that's going to be our mini stopgap. That's going to be happening next week. But until then, thank you very much for joining us with the Colossal Tussle Podcast. Episode 12 is in the books. And yes, you can find us everywhere now. My God, we're expanding rapidly. We're loving it. So let's first start out with the socials, where you can follow us on Twitter at
The Colossal Tussle, 1 on Twitter, on YouTube at The Colossal Tussle.
Yes. And then also you can follow us individually if you wish, starting with at Director KJ, and also
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah,
I thought you had another.
No, you,
I was like, oh shit.
on Instagram at Director KJ, and also on Instagram.
Paron 36.
Well, the boy wonder.
I thought you opened a new account. I'm like, oh shit.
No, I can barely handle my own.
That's why I was surprised.
You can find the podcast itself on multiple platforms. We have Spotify, which is the biggest. We have Audible. We have Amazon Music. We have Stitcher. And we have Google Podcasts. I don't know. Listen, when somebody finds it on there, oh no.
An Apple coming soon.
Yes, the Colossal Tussle. Find it. Make sure that you like it. Make sure that you never miss an episode. Share it around if you enjoy us and enjoy what we're doing. I'm having a fucking blast with this. I'm sure you are as well.
Yes.
Good. And with the enthusiastic Just John. I am the tenacious Special K. And until next week for Halftime Heat, we are out.
Very